Gus writes, I just bought a new set of handlebars, but they're a bit too wide. Can you show me how to cut them down a bit? Cutting down your new set of handlebars can be a little intimidating, but there really isn't much to be afraid of. It seems that bars have gotten wider and wider over the years, and that's great for some people, but not everyone needs or prefers the same bar width. If you don't already have a bar width that you like and are comfortable with, start by making small adjustments to the overall width of the bar, because once it's cut, you're committed. When measuring for the cuts, remember that whatever the total amount of material you want to take off needs to be divided by 2 because you're removing from both ends of the bar. Remember, it's better to measure twice and cut once. We'll start with aluminum bars. When it comes to cutting aluminum bars, I prefer to use a pipe cutter. I find that they make a straighter cut than using a saw and a guide. I'm going to take a total of 10 millimeters off of these bars, so I'll start by measuring 5 millimeters in from the outer edge of the bar on each side and make a mark. Lots of bars come with cut marks from the factory, but if not, use a marker or something pointy to make a mark on the bar where you will make the cut. It's always a good idea to double check the accuracy of factory cutting guides with your own measurements. Now all that's left is to attach the pipe cutter and line it up on the mark and make the cut. Once the cut is made, remove any burrs or sharp edges with a file or some sandpaper. For carbon bars, you'll have to use a saw. When cutting carbon, I highly recommend using a tungsten carbide blade. These blades won't tear at the carbon fibers like a regular blade would, so you'll end up with a much cleaner cut. Start the same way you would with an aluminum bar by making your measurements and marking the bar. Now we can get the guide on the bar and line it up to make the cut. Make sure you account for blade thickness when lining up the guide to make the cut. Let the saw do the work when making the cut without putting too much pressure on it, especially when finishing the cut at the bottom of the bar. All that's left is to clean up the edges of the bar with some high grit sandpaper and you're done. If you don't have a saw guide, there is a way to make sure you end up with a straight cut. You can use an old set of lock-on grips that are open on both ends and use the grip as a guide. Just line the end of the grip up with the mark on the bar where you want to cut it, then make the cut. This will leave marks on the grip, so that's why I recommend using an old set if you have them. If you want your question asked on Ask a Mechanic, presented by Cyclery, send your inquiry to webletters@competitorgroup.com.